let me see what your financials look like. So what I would do is because I wasn't stacking up my money, they'd be like, hey, wait, send me 5,000. Hey, you send me 5,000. Hey, send me 6,000 over here. Send me another 5 over here. So rather than me having just a couple $1,000s in my bank account, when I wasn't saving shit up, now it shows that I got like 50, 60, 70K. And that's not even my money. I sent that back as soon as I took the screenshot. You know what I'm saying? I sent that money back as soon as I took the screenshot.
Cat.
So you know exactly. You gotta finesse a little bit.
Man, this was inspiring, man, because Omar, I'm learning some stuff about you on the mic. Like hard head, dropped out of school, don't like listening to nobody, and you open up a business because you don't want to listen to nobody. You do not like authority.
I hate authority. Even though that's why I was growing up being a badass kid, my mom had to whip my ass because no, I'd never be listening to her. She wouldn't have to whip my ass.
Welcome back to another episode of the Big Dog Talk Podcast. It's me, your boy, Big Charles. Bay Area. If you don't know, if this is your first time tuning into the Big Dog Talk Podcast, this is a mindset transformational podcast. I believe that we all have the power to create our own world. I live by a quote by Henry David Thoreau. It says, go confidently in the direction of your dreams and live the life that you always imagined. And the only way that we can live the life that we imagine is through mindset. I told you guys at the beginning of the season, of the new season of Big Dog Talk Podcast, anyone that comes on this podcast has to be inspirational to me. If they're not inspirational to me, then I know for sure they're not inspirational to you. Listen, let me slow it down. I'm at my favorite hookah spot in Berkeley, California, Hayati. And I'm here with the owner of Hayati. His name is Omar. This guy is a young boy, 23 years young. You understand me? And before I even introduce this guy, one of the most inspirational things he told me, I don't even know if he realized this, he said, I will work 14 hours a day, 7 days a week before I work another 9 to 5. And the mindset is what inspired me. This young boy, he even works with his brother. And that also inspired me. So I said, you know what? He has to come on the podcast, drop some jewels, drop some game for the young bulls and the old bulls. You know, we can learn from anybody. You know, but how you feeling, Omar?
I'm doing great, bro. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Omar gives great customer service. He's a little nervous. You guys be comfortable and relax, okay? We have hookah. So if you hear some noise in the background, we at a hookah lounge, man. Y'all be patient with us. We at the best hookah spot in the Bay Area.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So Omar, tell me where you from, man.
Man, I'm originally from Syria. I'm Arab from the Middle East, but I'm born and raised in Oakland, California.
So your roots is from Syria, but you were born here in California?
I'm born and raised in Oakland, California, yep.
But let's get to the hookah spot, man. How did you get into the hookah business?
Man, to be honest, growing up, I'm Middle Eastern, so, you know, hookah is like our culture. You know, the same way like American culture is like, you know, you see in the movies, like they go home after a long day of work, they pop open their fridge and open a cold can of beer. You know, for us, it's like we get home after a long day of work, we want to smoke hookah. You know what I'm saying? So there's a cultural aspect to it as well. That's why even on a lot of the hookahs, like the old ones I used to have in the back, they're from Egypt. That's where it really started, like in the Middle East.
So I'm in your culture right now.
Yes, sir.
This is a part of your culture.
Of course it is, yeah.
So after a long day's work, you guys pull the hookah out. Would you guys have it set up in the kitchen or something?
Hell yeah, we put that shit in our pantry.
Seriously?
Yeah, I swear to God. Like my mom growing up, she'd have like, you know, you open up the pantry where you got like the seasonings, the ingredients, this and that. For us, we got a couple hookahs set up in there. You know, in the bag, we put them in the cardboard box, throw them in there. After every day, as soon as you get home, everybody goes outside in the backyard, we get together and we smoke.
So where did hookah start from then?
Some people, everybody got a different answers. Some people, they say it started in India. Some people say it's in the Middle East. Some people say North Africa. You know what I'm saying? So it just, who knows at this point, you know? Who
Man,
knows?
at the end of the day, I know for sure it is relaxing. It does
Exactly.
like it calms you down. It just free your mind. Free your mind to me. You
That's
know what I
all
mean?
hoop is about, you know. That's why I always, whenever you come here, the music's not really loud. I play certain type of music, you know. 'Cause at the end of the day, everybody's coming here after a long day. They want to kick back, relax, chill, you know. You come here, sometimes you see people doing work on their laptop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got customers that come here, read books, study. You know what I'm saying? So I want this to be like a safe space, you know, for people to come in. They don't got to worry about having to look over their shoulder, especially being in the Bay Area and how, you know, there's all this politics going on right now.
Right.
All this crime and whatnot. So I want this to be like a safe place where people ain't gotta worry about that. They can come in, chill, relax, you know, have a good conversation, play cards, talk shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, where did the idea come from that you wanted your own hookah spot?
To be honest, so it's kind of weird. So I grew up smoking hookah. You know, like at all the family barbecues. I was like 13, making everybody's hookah, getting everything ready for everybody. But from 14 to like 20, I won't say I never smoked. You know what I'm saying? I'd be around it. I'd be making hookahs for everybody and whatnot. But I was actually a really talented boxer before I started smoking hookah.
Oh, so you know how to fight.
Of course I do. Yeah. So that's gonna be my profession going forward in boxing. No, but you know, that didn't work out. I broke my hand hella times. I broke my nose. Just having hella injuries. Messed up my ankle. It was starting to take a toll on my body. You know, like I can't keep up. With every other week, I gotta, you know, I had to wrap an extra wraps around my wrist, and I got broken knuckles on this hand. And the next week, I break my right knuckle.
Mm.
So I kind of got sick of it. You know, it's hard to come up in the boxing game. You know.
Yeah, I did that for a little bit.
Yeah. So I used to be terrified of smoke. Anytime somebody was smoking a cigarette around me, like I was hella anti-smoking, like, I don't drink, I wouldn't smoke, I wouldn't even be around it. So the first time my partner was like, "Oh, let's go to this hookah lounge." I was like, "Hell no, what? Like hookah lounge, like smoke?" I was terrified. Like, no, I walked in for the first time like this. You know, and people that come here, they used to see me back then. They used to know me like, oh, it's that dude that always be going like this, you know, like, let's smoke that way or turn the vent on, and you know, like, I ain't trying to be around all this smoke because I was an athlete.
Right.
You know, I wake up, go to school, go to the gym. Then after the gym, after the boxing gym, I would go to the track, do a couple miles, and after that, I would go to like 24-hour fitness, Planet Fitness, and do my weights. So like boxing was my life, you know. But then, you know, that didn't work out. I kept on getting injured, and I started going to this hoop lounge more often. And I started paying attention to like, damn, so I'm paying $25 for, you know, my pint of hookah. There's one, two, three, four. There'd be like 20 hookahs on the ground. If each one is $25, that's already $500. Now let's say there was another 25 hookahs before I came here. Like this might be a good business model. So I literally right then and there I put on my calculator. I was like, okay, let's say his rent is $3,000 a month, and then he's making this amount a day, and then he got an employee. Let's say he's paying him this much, and the business insurance and utilities comes out to this. Like on average, he's probably taking on like this amount of money. And for me, it's like, oh, you know how to make coke, you know. Like I said, I grew up doing.
Wait, you don't know make what?
Hookah.
Oh, I thought you said something else. I was like, wait, not on the mic. Wait, not on the mic. I don't know.
So like this might be a good business model, and then I started doing the research. I started writing out my business plan. It was so much stuff you have to learn because you know when it comes to hookah in the city, it's a lot of permits required. It's a process. You know, so that was another thing I had to. That was like another hurdle I had to go through. You know, I had to jump over.
So did you work at a hookah spot before you opened up your own?
Yeah, so I kept on trying to do research, then I had to learn about zoning, and then every time I called the location, like, hey, I want to do a hookah launch here, they were like, no. Even if I did, I was like 19 at this time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'd come inside and be like, you coming with your dad or something? Like, nah, just me. And then, like, they wouldn't take me seriously. They'd close the doors, you know? So that was another thing, you know, like, getting people to take me seriously because of my age.
So let's talk about that. How did you have this mindset at 19? How did you have this entrepreneur mindset at 18, 19 years old?
Because I hated listening to people. Like, growing up since, like, 14, I had my first job, got fired, had another job, got fired, had another job, got fired. I probably got fired from almost every single job I had.
You loser.
just because I hated taking orders, and same thing while I was back in school, like I dropped out of high school in ninth grade, went back like 11th grade.
Wow.
I hated listening to people. Even here, like when me and my brother, you probably don't see, but we in the back, they're about to fight sometimes, because he'll tell me to do this or I'll tell him to do this, and then he catches the attitude and I catch the attitude back, So I was never good with authority, really.
Wow.
That's why I was grew up, getting in trouble on time, getting in and out of the system, and whatnot. But that's when I was like, man, I hate working for other people. I hate working for other people. And I was like, that's when I was telling you, like, I work 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, no vacation, no nothing before I ever listen to somebody else tell me what to do.
Oh my God. No, say that again to the camera.
Like I said, I work 14 hours a day, 15, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, no vacation, no time off before I ever got to go work for somebody else again.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But that's where it really came from. You know what I'm saying?
So, but hold on, because you said you was a trouble kid then coming up. You was a hardhead, knucklehead.
I was a hardhead. Anytime my mom got a phone call, I was like, Omar got suspended. Omar got into a fight. Omar did this. Omar did that. Oh, you got to pick Omar up from here. Or Omar is over here, and I got to go bail him out, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? So I was always a knucklehead. I was always getting in trouble. I hate listening to people,
And were you born that way? Were you born with this?
No, I was always like this.
You came out the womb like, I don't listen to nobody.
No. I'm not gonna say attitude problem, because I was always like a genuine person. I was never like shy ass kid or nothing like that. But it's when it came to doing my work in school, or somebody told me to do this or trying to get a job, trying to make some money. I just couldn't listen to nobody. I just hated taking orders.
That is inspiring and crazy at the same time, because you would never think that the kid that doesn't like taking orders would have his own spot giving orders. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I stopped even telling people I'm the owner too. Because as soon as I tell somebody I'm the owner, they're like, "Oh, he's a kid."
Well, when I say kid, I mean like
young.
Well, I'll take that back. Let me. Did I called you a kid on the mic?
No, I think I did.
I was about to say, because I'll see you as like I want to make sure I didn't call you a kid.
No, definitely not. No, I call myself a kid, but I say like anybody young, like they like a kid, they're still young,
Right. I mean, but you so inspiring though. What made you bring your brother along and work with you?
He ain't got no choice. He's my brother. He's gonna be here regardless. That's how us Middle Easterns do. One person starts a business, the brother helps, the cousin helps, yada yada yada. You grow that one business, now you do another business. Now everybody's pushing into this business. Then now once that business starts making some money, now you take the money, then you go open up another business. That's how you grow wealth, So my brother, he ain't have a choice. He's gonna be stuck with me regardless.
Little bro didn't have a choice.
Hell nah.
That's funny, because I grew up hearing that you never do business with family.
I mean, I can see why some people say that. Just because it's family doesn't mean. And when I say family, I don't mean blood. You got friends, cousins. It's like we can be family. We're not related at all. Right? I'm saying, but that's what family is. Just blood is making family. It's about like the loyalty and the bond that you have with somebody, the genuine, like the empathy that person has for you, that makes it family.
It's hard to believe though, Omar, that you was a knucklehead, because your service is so good up here.
I mean, you gotta learn how to cuss.
You don't show any sign of you being a hardhead, a knucklehead, because I'm pretty sure you must haven't had an incident yet where they didn't like the hookah yet.
Not second, but that's business. You gotta take away business from personal.
But you were a hardhead though.
I was, yeah.
So how do you separate the business and the emotional personal connection when someone rude to you and say, "Man, I don't like this hookah. It ain't no good."
I mean, that just comes with business. If somebody doesn't like the hookah, I'll change it 100 times if they're satisfied until they're satisfied. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, they don't like the hookah.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I like the hookah.
Yeah. Here and there, sometimes I might be in a rush, sometimes something might slip up. It doesn't happen often, but here and there it happens. You gotta understand it comes with business. If somebody doesn't like it, I might recommend something to you. You don't like it. Hey, I don't like this. It's good. No worries. I'll change it for you. Let me know if you like this one. You know what I'm saying?
So, were your parents entrepreneurs?
Nah, not at all. So I grew up in a single mother household. I never grew up with a father or anything like that in my life. So my brother, I grew up seeing my mom struggle. Working. She still works more than I do. She works 16 hours a day, double. She's a nurse at Kaiser. You know, so growing up, I had to see my mom, you know, like we late on the rent. You know, now I gotta hustle, do this, do that, see what I can fade up on. You know, trying to make my mom's life easier, even though I was making her at the same time, though. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I saw this quote the other day, and it was like, the less you work, the more your parents have to work. You know, like the more you like mess around right now as a kid, but like the older your parents are gonna get, the more they're gonna have to work. So that's a quote that really stuck to me. You know, like damn, the less I work right now, the lazier I am, the more my mom gotta work.
Man, you dropping some. You dropping some game.
Exactly. But growing up, you know, nobody wants to see their parents work.
Right.
I mean, especially growing up in a single mother household, you want to see your mom, you know, working all day, taking orders from somebody else, means like, you know, under somebody else's management.
How did that affect you growing up?
It just made me never want to work for nobody, you know.
You're the older brother, right?
I'm the older brother, just me and my little brother, yeah.
Wow. So I'm sorry. How did that affect you growing up watching your mother grind like that?
It just made me want to hustle too. Like my mom, she's a hustler.
But
At the end of the day, my mom's a hustler. She gonna do what she gotta do, whether you know, on 16-hour shifts, 18-hour shifts. You know, my mom still works 2 jobs, and it's like, mom, I can take care of you. Know, I got a business. You know, you don't gotta go to work no more. I can take care of the rent, do this, pay for that. It's like she just got that natural hustler mentality to where like, nah, I gotta get more. I gotta hustle. You know, I gotta make sure you and Zen are good. I gotta make sure this is food's on the table. Yada yada yada.
wow.
You know what I mean? So it's like the more I see my mom working, like I'm not gonna be lazy, and I see my mom working more than most of the people that I know. You know
Wow.
what I mean?
Wow.
So
That is crazy to
that's
me.
really where the drive comes from.
That is crazy. I would have never thought that you came from a single family home.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
I would have never thought just by prejudging that you were a knucklehead as well. You actually we have a lot in common. We both from the hood. It sounds like because you feel like you carry yourself like you got some salt to you. You know what I mean? Like you come from where I come from.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Now I come from a 2-parent home. Grew up in the hood, but I feel like I know you though. Like we come from the same place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like we just like connected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's really inspiring because you represent a lot of people, and not just one race. Like 23, right?
23, yeah.
You grew up in a single parent household. You basically had to look out for your little brother, your younger brother as well.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, you had to grow up fast, faster than the average kid. You know, how did you not feel sorry for yourself? Like, what made you just say, I want to change my life? I want to not be a knucklehead anymore. I want to go in the right direction.
I mean, I was a bad kid, but I was so smart. You know, like I was always hustling. You know, I always had money. My mom was like, you don't need no lunch money? I'm like, nah, got it. You know, it started off from me, like when I was like 12, 13, 11, like in 6th grade. I would take all my Halloween candy, let's say for like 6 months. It'd be some stale ass Halloween candy too. But I'd take it like to school like 6 months later, and I'd sell it like 50 cents a piece. You know, at the end of the day, I make like 25, 30, 40, $45. You know, like it doesn't sound like any money at all right now, but when you're in 6th grade, like taking home 30, 40, 25, 35, $45, whatever the case is a lot of money for 6th grade, especially when you're making it by yourself too. It's not like anybody's handing it to you.
Right.
You know, so I'm like, now I go get a burrito after school. I got the taco truck down the street. I could grab some chips after school. You know what I'm saying? But like, I was a knucklehead, but I was always smart, and I think that's the reason why my mom was never really worried about me. You know, she always knew like, no matter what, it's gonna be good. You know, even if I get in trouble, I'm gonna get suspended. I'm getting into fights. I'm in and out of this, in and out of that. She was like, she kind of had her faith in me. Because at the end of the day, like, when my brother needed lunch money, you wouldn't have to ask my mom. He'd go in my bottom drawer behind my clothes and take something from the stash. You know? And I think that's kind of where it's like, damn, my mom, like, she could put her money to the socks. Now I can pick up my brother's lunch money too.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Does that give you some sense of fulfillment?
Hell yeah, it does.
Talk about that. How does that make you feel?
It just makes me feel good because it feels like I can provide, you know. Like I said, I don't have to rely on my mom for anything. My mom can go to work, she can get her money, pay the bills, do this, and then anything that I want, I can take care of myself. If I want to get some new shoes, some new Jordans, you know, some new jeans, a new jacket. You know, I knew that I could take care of myself. and I didn't have to rely on her because I knew even $35, $40 a day back in the day, I was wearing like Vans and shit. It's like I was cashing out on like designer shoes and whatnot, like what people do now.
Mm-hmm.
I was wearing Vans, whatever Jordans were out, Air Forces. Like back then there was like $60, $70. So in 2 days, I gave myself a brand new pair of Air Forces.
So you was fly back then.
I wasn't fly, but I wasn't buggy.
What I'm saying, that's what I mean. You was hustling back then.
Yeah, but even sometimes, I did go through that. Like even right now, I'm wearing like we was talking about how small these slides are right
I'm
now.
like pretty small now. Pretty small slide.
Basic sweats. Like I feel like to grow, you kind of have to. You stop worrying about being fly. You can't worry about like damn, I want to buy a house. I want to retire my mom. If I buy these $1,000 shoes, that's $1,000 I can invest in something else.
I was joking about you with that not too long ago, and you made a statement saying, "Man, we don't care about getting flashy. We don't care about any of that." This is what you said. I have a goal of retiring by the age of 35. Do you remember that?
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about the other day.
Yeah. And I was like, I went home so charged up because I was talking to you and your other friends. I actually thought that's why I asked you guys, you guys related? And you said no. You said it was a mindset thing, and we look out for each other.
Yeah.
But you guys inspired me so much because the focus was so. You guys are tuned in. It's like I have a plan. I want to retire by the age of 35, and it was like 5 or 6 of you guys that were just talking about it. And I'm just on the cultural part. When you said this is a part of our culture where we support each other. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say just support each other, but because everybody kind of gotta like hustle and do our part too, So I wouldn't say supporting each other. You kind of, in a sense, it is supporting each other because let's say you have a business idea, and it's 3 of us. We're like, damn, that's a good idea. Let's all put our money to the side. We'll go work for a couple months, go put up our money, and then go invest in this business. And now when this business is making money, now we can go take the money from this business account and go open up another business. And then it just kind of like rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat,
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do it over and over again. That's how people build wealth. That's why there's a difference between rich and being wealthy. You can be rich working 7 days a week, making $400,000, $500,000 a year at some tech job or, some type of software engineering job or something like that, there's nothing wrong with that too. You're going to do what you got to do at the end of the day. But I think being wealthy is when you can make, let's say, like 300,000, but you don't got to be there. That's just being rich and wealthy.
Freedom.
Exactly. It's financial freedom at the point, at the end of the day. Like even at this point, there's some point I don't want to be here every single day. Of course, I enjoy it. I love being here. I have an emotional attachment to this place, but I'm gonna, go on vacation, have a little bit of fun too. You know what I'm saying? So it's all just about growth. Like I said, let's say you wake up and they're like, "Damn, Omar, I got a good business idea." I'm like, "No, that sounds good. Let's do some research. We'll do some research. We'll put our money into it. We'll try to find a location, and boom, now I got this first business." Like, "Oh, Omar, hey Charles, you called me one day, like, hey Omar, like, hey Charles, I got a good business idea now. Like, oh, let's do some research. We'll find a location and do it.
Do your homework."
It's kind of about taking that first step. Like, you can talk about something all you want to do, but until you take that first step and put your foot down on something, that's when you're gonna start seeing growth.
So what is that like? What does that first step look like when Omar said, "You know what? I'm doing it. I'm opening up me a hookah spot. I'm tired of it." What did the first step look like?
First step was I went home and I started doing research. I started downloading like business plan templates. Started doing like city research, calling up different cities, seeing what they allow, what they don't allow, calling up different landlords. There was so much stuff. Like sometimes I laugh at the stuff that I would do back then when I was like first beginning my journey of opening Hayati. Like I'd walk into a business, not knowing anything about like ventilation, not knowing nothing about construction. Like I still don't know shit about construction. Even like when I put this whole place together, I barely even know how to put a drill together. We was on YouTube, like put the phone right here on the wall, like how to put in a screwdriver in the drill and how to put up this,
So all of this that you set up, you didn't know what you were doing at first?
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at all.
This place look amazing.
To you. But to me, like, I'm seeing all the flaws. I'm looking at the ground. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the light. like, oh, this is uneven, this is that, there's a scratch in there, there's a burn right here. No, so but because I saw this place when it was nothing versus how I made it now, so you kind of see like
Right.
see everything.
I remember you showing me the pictures, and it definitely didn't look.
Yeah, exactly. Even when I first got the keys to this place, I was like, damn, how do I want to do it? You know, I had no clue how I want this place to look. You know, me and my friends, you know, we be here every day, morning till nighttime. You know, like,
Wait,
you know,
wait. That's a doggy treat. I want you to look in the camera again. You say you and your friends do what?
we be here morning till night.
You and your friends, so your friends are willing to grind with you, help you out.
Of course, yeah. Shout out to Wade, shout out to Yusuf, shout out to Zane, shout out to Sean, shout out to everybody that helped me, you know, get this place up and going because it really takes a team. That's one thing I learned the hard way is it takes a team to really grow. Like you can have one business, you know, which is cool. If you don't want to be here 7 days a week, like that's cool. But if you want to grow, I feel like you really need a team. Like you need a couple of friends that are willing to grind hustle with you to the point where everybody's eating. You know, but and they saw how long I've been trying to do this for, so they knew like the passion I had for this. So like I said, we be in here every day. One person's going to Home Depot, one person's going to here, I'm going here. We come back in the afternoon and it's, you know, on YouTube how to use a drill, how to use the saw machine, how to use this, how to use that. Like, we didn't know what the fuck. I was almost like I was gonna lose a finger at some point.
Wow.
You know, just from like, you know, the saw machine, we were trying to cut up the wood and you wouldn't hold it strong enough and then like the wood starts spazzing out, starts moving around, you know, and then you might chop off a finger, you know, fuck with the blade.
That is crazy. When I say, Omar, when I say this is my favorite hookah spot, this is my favorite hookah spot. You know, this is really my favorite hookah spot. My daughter came here one day. She was like, "Pops, I'm here." You know, and but just to be able to drive down the street, and you got a place where I can just leave home and it's safe. I can come be in my own space, let my mind be creative, and get good service.
Of course.
Sometimes you can watch the UFC fights.
Exactly. I got all the boxing fights, all the UFC fights, all the football games, all the basketball games. Even some people they like baseball, you know. Like next week, I think there's a UFC fight. I think we're gonna open up at 11 a.m. because there's other people that want to watch the fight.
Wow.
So it's also about building a community too.
Community, I love it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love it. So what's the vision for Hayati in the next 5 years? Or what's the vision for you then? This is a part of you. What is the vision for you in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years, no, of course I want to be. If I want to say like La La Land, I want to be retired in 5 years. I want to be retired by 28 years old. You know, but hopefully have a couple more lounges. You know, thing is you can't really say because you never know what opportunity you're gonna get. You know, I might see somebody like, hey Omar, there's this place. You know, we could go open up this year. Let's go do it. You know, that might change my whole 5-year route, just a different plan, you know? So it's kind of hard to say what I'm going to have, like what I'm trying to do in 5 years, but 100% I'm trying to franchise Hayati, open up a couple more locations, whether it's in, you know, SoCal, NorCal, the Bay Area, Central California, or even out of state, you know, but I definitely want to stay in the hookah business.
Man, Omar, I'm going to tell you the main reason I wanted you to come on here is because I ain't even going to lie to you. I got two boys. I have an older daughter, and my wife and I, we have a family business. We have two businesses now. My wife owns a child care, and I own Big Dog Talk podcast. And one thing I push is family business, and that is something that has to be instilled. Like that's something that I do my best to instill in when my kids were 7 months old, I had them both watching the Property Channel. I'm talking about going to bed every single night all the way until they was like 7 years old, 8 years old, watching, because I'm into real estate as well, watching the Property Channel. And they have the Property Brothers on there.
Yeah.
So it's always, I wanted to put in their mind the importance of building together. To me, it's like a cheat code. Working with family, having family support.
It's like a team.
Yeah, it's a team that you can trust. You may fall out, you may argue, you may fuss, but you know nobody's gonna do me better than my brother do. Look out for me like my brother. So I wanted you to come on the podcast because I saw my two boys when they get older having their own business together. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, I wanna bring Omar on here and talk about that. because that's very inspiring. And then that you're young, and I'm 39, learning from a youngster. You know what I mean? Before we get out of here, what is one? If you were talking to my boys, or to some youngsters out there that's hard headed, what would you tell them that they can possibly hold on to years from now?
I know just stack up for a rainy day. Stack. Just keep stacking. Any dollar you get, a penny you get, whether you make, whether they're young, like selling candy at school, selling chips at school, making $10 a day or $20 a day until when they get a job, when they're teenagers, stack up every penny you get, because the more you stack up when you're young, like you can open up a business. If you start stacking up from 12 years old to you're 18, you can open up your first business when you're 18 years old. You know, you can have that 60, 70, 80, 90, 100K by your 18 years old to invest in something, you know? So that's one thing I wish I did when I was young, is stack up all my money. You know, so even when I was kind of off tracking, even when I was, applying for locations, like, hey, can I check this location out? The first thing they're going to ask you is financials. Let me see what your financials look like. So what I would do is, because I wasn't stacking up my money, I'd be like, hey, wait, send me 5,000. Hey, you send me 5,000. Hey, send me 6,000 over here. Send me another 5 over here. So rather than me having just a couple $1,000s in my bank account, you know, when I wasn't saving shit up, now it shows that I got like 50, 60, 70K. And that's not even my money. I sent that back as soon as I took the screenshot. You know what I'm saying? I sent that money back as soon as I took the screenshot. So you know, exactly. You gotta finesse a little bit.
Man, this was inspiring, man, because Omar, I'm learning some stuff about you on the mic. Like hard head, dropped out of school, don't like listening to nobody, and you open up a business because you don't want to listen to nobody. You do not like authority.
I hate authority. Even though that's why I was growing up being a badass kid, my mom had to whip my ass because I'd never be listening to her. She would have to whip my ass, spank me with a belt, slippers, whatever the case is, because I don't like to listen.
Man.
You know? That's why me and my brother always get into it. You probably heard it in the back a couple times, you know, ready to throw hands sometimes.
How is that? Talk about that right quick. I thought we was getting ready to end. But talk about what are some of the crazy things that you and your brother go through working together. And talk about the back stuff, behind the scenes stuff.
Behind the scenes, I mean, most of the time it's the smooth sailing, you know? Like, you know, he's in the front, I'm in the back. He's taking credit for I'm taking the back, you know, it's easy.
Well, talk about when y'all get into it.
When we get into it, I'll be like, hey, come help me, it's hella busy. You know, you see me here sometimes by myself. You know, there'll be like 30, 40 people in here. I'm all by myself, running around breaking sweat. So I'll be like, hey, go to the laundry quick. I need your help. He's like, oh, no, I'm busy right now. And I'm like, damn, let me see who else I can call, you know? And then later, like, I'll check my Instagram later, and it'll be like him at swimming pool, or him playing soccer, or him in, like, the other day, like, UC Davis or something. I was like, man, what the, bro, you could have came and helped me, bro. You out here having fun. I didn't take a day off in 6 months. You can't just help me in the back, help me in the front for fucking, like, 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? So that's like the list that be going on, you know, but other than that, like, I'm blessed to have, like, the family and friends that I got around me. You know, I really couldn't be here without them, to be honest. You know, like I said, all of us, like 4 or 5 of us, every day from morning till night, whether it's, you know, we scraping up the glue off the ground from the old tile, or painting the walls, or putting the lights in, or taking trips down to LA just to pick up all the products.
That's what's up.
You know, so to have the friends and family that I got around me is really a blessing. You know, I'm really grateful to have those type of people around me that can elevate me, can push me, who want more for me than I want for myself.
Wow.
You know, so that's the biggest thing is, you know, if I see you being lazy all day, you ain't doing nothing, like, a good friend is gonna be like, man, get your ass up and go do something, you know, go get some money, go stack up, go get a job, you know, so we can stack up and do something together. That's something. No, and that's just the whole, like you said, you asked my 5-year plan. My 5-year plan is that me and all my friends surrounding me, businesses, and working together.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. Omar, we're gonna end it on that. I don't even think you can say anything that was even better than that. In the next 5 years, you hope to be thriving with your same friends that help you build this joint.
Of course, it's the same people I've been with since like 14, 15. So we all watch each other grow. So it's really good. So in 5 years, I know for a fact all of us are gonna be good. Everybody's parents are gonna be retired. Everybody's parents don't have to work no more. that's the goal. Really just retire our parents early so they live a better life for themselves.
And this is why this podcast is the best podcast, period. Mindset Transformational Podcast. Omar, thank you, man.
I appreciate you guys having me. It was a blessing.
Give a shout out to your business again, location.
Come pull out me at Hayati Hookah Lounge in Berkeley, California, 1776 University Avenue. We get here 7 days a week. Yeah, that's it. We got the best look in the bay.
Yeah, we are. Thank you, man.